All right. Fire them up. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Genre of Your Life podcast, your go-to podcast for all things entertainment, movies, and TV, episode number 77, and a podcast one day that will record from the John Wick Continental Hotel. Hey, boys, I'm putting it out there, hopefully manifesting it for us. You never know. You never know.
That's the dream right there. That's
I am one of your hosts, Doug Jones. With me, as always, are my amazing co-hosts, two of the best friends in the world, and two of the most amazing people in the world. First of all, we have the amazing, incredible, and Mr. Nick Johnson. What's going on, Nick?
I'm good. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing good, man. I want to thank you again, dude. We had a really fun Monday night at the movies, man. I want again, you, Nino, and Seth made a lot of fun for us. And I don't know, man. Dare I say it might be top 5 favorite screening experience. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. Oh, interesting. That's high praise.
It's high praise. Again, radio tease, as we say.
Yeah.
And of course, it is Mr. LA himself. It's the amazing, wonderful, incredible. It's Mr. Moses Sly. What's going on, Moses?
What's going on? I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to be here with the one and only, of course, Doug, and Nick, and yeah, I'm ready to get the show on road.
Man, you're rocking that Netflix shirt too. I like it.
Oh, this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not sponsored, but
not yet.
I should be. No, I'm kidding. No,
not yet.
Not yet. But I appreciate it. It was for FYC event that I worked on this past week. So yeah.
Did you do? This might be a silly question, but do you know? Like, have you ever worked what's the event called? Tadoom, like their event.
It's funny, on the side here it says Tadoom.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? That's pretty good timing, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. I just worked on the Tadoom event and everything like that. So I don't work with like Netflix, but I work with Swisher, who is basically an event company that hires that's hired by Netflix most of the time and everything, and we work the red carpet and everything, and we did a lot of the damn, why am I blanking right now?
Just you over because you're doing all this. Well, sorry right now.
Man, you're carrying.
Yeah. Basically, we.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. There's always so much to do in those events, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time, but it was definitely a lot of work, but
good for you.
Yeah.
Anything that kind of stood out to you in terms of like what you saw? Was like Stranger Things? Was it what's that one coming out with Frankenstein's coming out from Del Toro? Did you see any footage from Stranger Things, or was that one of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck too? Sorry, Nick's best friend, Matt Damon.
Yeah, I wasn't. No. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see that because we were still essentially working.
Okay.
But I did get to see, of course, the Frankenstein footage and everything like that. I was able to see that. But yeah, it was a really, really cool event. The whole sort of stage and everything, the whole stage build was really, really cool too as well. Everything was really, really fun. The fact that they're able to get Lady Gaga to perform, that was cool. But
I saw that.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, Netflix.
Nick, you would have loved it.
Yeah.
I bet I would have. I should have been there.
Like I said, bro. Nick's best friend, Matt Damon, was there, bro. They're boys at this point.
I know that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. He would have loved it. You know,
I'm gonna hit him up for tickets. This one, I got you. I'll be front row.
You know, but it was a good time overall. So
Good for you.
Yeah. It was at the Forum.
Really?
You know the Forum. The Forum.
Yeah.
It was at the Forum and everything like that. So. Yeah.
Do you mind if I share this real quick? Did you film there when you were when you did a little cameo in that Lakers show on HBO?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that day, but they did film there, and everything. They did actually film in that location and everything, being able to hear from word of mouth from folks that I know. But yeah, they use that location a lot, not just Netflix, but a lot of people use it a lot for like filming and everything. So, but yeah, you know, they literally turned that whole space around. It looks really, really nice inside and everything like that. It's all cleaned up, you know. Yeah, it's really, really nice. So.
Fun fact: in the movie, in the American masterpiece classic, Like Mike, they shot outside for Staples Center, now the Crypt. But it's funny, in the interior for Like Mike, it's all the Forum. It's all the Forum. But on the exteriors, it's Staples Center, but interior, it's all the Forum. And I was like, interesting. Little fun fact for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
What's up?
Yeah,
I gotta watch that movie again now,
bro. That's an American classic, bro.
Yeah.
When you say cinema, bro.
Cinema. No, I'm kidding.
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is.
When you're talking about like just
man.
Straight up.
One of these days, I'll wear that jersey on air.
I'm down, bro. Oh yeah.
But of course, get a little housekeeping, of course, guys. You can always find this show on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. Again, we also have our full video show on our YouTube page, youtube.com/MidwayAvenueProductions. Whether on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube Music, you name it, please rate, subscribe, hit that follow button. It means a lot to us. Your support really means a lot to us, helps us to kind of show grow, get the word out about us to your friends and movie fans, movie friends, you name it, family. And again, and our ongoing goal still, we have two this summer, as you already know. One is get to 1,000 subs on YouTube. That'll be really big for us. And of course, we still have our ongoing goal, which is again 200 star ratings on Apple Podcasts. That really will help us out a lot. I think I told you probably 100 times before on the podcast, is that the more reviews we get on Apple Podcasts and ratings for Apple Podcasts helps us do more coverage, more access to different screenings and interviewers and filmmakers, stuff like that. So please don't be shy. We want to hear from you guys. Your feedback means the world to us. So again, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, rate, subscribe, follow. We want to hear from you guys because your feedback truly does mean the world to us. So thank you again for tuning in and listening to this show. We do appreciate it. And again, we are just getting to summer season of movies, so we got so much more in store for you guys this summer, so stay tuned for that. Alrighty, guys, so we have an action-packed WICK-TASTIC, I'm coining it, WICK-TASTIC episode for you guys this week. We have our non-spoiler review of Ballerina, from the world, long title, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, and I've been saying the John Wick spinoff, Ballerina, the official title, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. And of course, we finally have our highly anticipated spoiler discussion of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Alrighty, so starting off with this real quick, and most haven't seen the movie yet, and the film comes out on Friday. We're gonna keep this non-spoiler for you guys, of course. We're gonna start off with our non-spoiler review of Ballerina, a movie that Nick and I saw on Monday, thanks to our friends at Movies More Fun and Lionsgate. We're really appreciative of that, of course. And that's the Key and Peele I was talking about earlier. Wrong window, excuse me. Dude, it's funny. On Zoom, for some reason, I'll have like the right tab open. It's like, okay, good to go. And it's like, did you mean this tab? And it's like, well, no, I picked this one for a reason. They go, oh, they're going, that's too bad. And I'm like, well, help me help you guys. Like, this is what we need to have.
Right.
I was like, come on, guys. Here we go. There you go. Look at that. Finally. All right. And here we go. All right. So, if you're not familiar with From the World John Wick Ballerina, or just Ballerina, as some people might say, this is the first spin-off film in the franchise. There's a spin-off TV show called The Continental on Peacock. This definitely has more roots to the John Wick franchise. This takes place in between Chapter 3, Parabellum, Nick's favorite, as well as Chapter 4. But, again, From the World John Wick Ballerina follows an assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization, sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. All right, Nick, of course, my friend, what were your thoughts on From the World John Wick Ballerina?
So honestly, I had a really good time with this movie. It was really fun. I think the thing the most about it is, even though it is very clearly in the world of John Wick, no pun intended, but like it is in that like universe, obviously, it doesn't lean too much on like tying into it. Mm-hmm. It tying into like into like the John Wick movies. There's little like nods and references here and there, but like the movie, the story, the character, like they all stand on their own, and I feel like they just did a really good job with this movie. Armors kills it in this, really good at action. We've seen in No Time to Die as well, but she definitely handles her own. They did the myth of this John Wick universe in a way that it was like believable. It didn't really feel like, okay, it didn't feel like they were just like reaching and like trying to like stretch to make a story out of nothing, essentially. So they did a really good job with that. I feel like they left it open for like future movies, possible sequels, because there's one thing I feel like they alluded to something larger going. Then after the movie, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know that they necessarily followed up with that, but I liked it though. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna leave it at that for now because I don't want to spoil it. But it was a really fun movie. The action was like creatively brutal, so that was really fun to watch too. Top tier, yes. Yeah. Solid movie. I liked it.
We're gonna do our rankings next week. All three of us. We do our open spoiler discussion. But rating wise, what would you give this movie, Nick?
I would give it a.
Oh, he's thinking, guys. He's thinking.
I think.
Wait. How much?
How much? A minus.
Okay. Hey, who you blowing a kiss to? Better be us.
That was to the missus, y'all. I'm like, am I on screen?
I was like, I mean, because how I see it on my end, it's like me to the left, you in the middle, and Moses to the right. So like, you're blowing me a kiss, and Anna de Armas a kiss. So it's very nice of you, Nick. We appreciate it.
Are we we appreciate that, man. We appreciate it. All the love.
A real one you are.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, so I've been on record on this podcast multiple times saying when I saw the first John Wick Some Friends in high school, I was kind of like, it was cool. Well, yeah, it was cool, I guess. And all my friends were like, "What are you thinking? Like, I don't like this. You're insane for that." I said it was cool, but we also just got out of seeing, I think, Equalizer that same month, and I was like, "Oh, Equalizer, like hands down, that was so much better." And so. And also, too, this was like around time, like, we still had like the Equalizer, Liam Neeson was still doing his like all his like 1,000, action movies. So it was like, I think we were so accustomed to that. So I didn't really appreciate the first John Wick till I saw it again later in college. And you've heard me on this podcast before. Moses, I want to say, were you with us when we saw John Wick 2 in college at a screening? I thought you were there with us.
I'm pretty sure I was, but it's been a while. I can't really not remember that day.
Okay.
But yeah, I might have been, but I'm not saying.
I'm 90% sure you were with us. And so
I probably was. I mean, it literally sounds familiar. Yeah.
So I remember. So before the dark days, before we had press screenings, I used to ride my bike to Hargan Semi Marketplace to get tickets for us to go see a screening, whether it was like John Wick, you name it, like the Power Ranger reboot, like anything. I mean, Blockers, Tag, you name it. And you had to wait in line back in the day. Again, you do. I saw that if you're not part of the press, you got to wait in line, for a GA line and go see this movie. So I remember I drove my bike to get these tickets, came back, and I'm pretty sure it was us three and two of the people that we were friends with in college. I should name one of them, Big Isaac, a guy that we were really close to in college, who was again really funny guy. And he had no idea what to expect with John Wick. And again, me going in, I was like, I don't care for the first one. Like, yeah, see how this is, whatever. But for me, watching John Wick 2, which is my personal favorite, was I was watching it and I was like, it hit me. I was like, now I get it. I do like these movies, and it took me 2 movies to get into them. But I was sitting there, I was like, now I understand why they're good. But if you remember this, our friend Big Isaac, God bless him, this man made that movie into a 4DX movie for us, because every gunfight, every fist fight, everything, he was just like, oh my God, bro. Like he was just shaking the seats.
Yeah.
And then it was me, and because like I'm on the end. I think you were I swear you were with us. I think you were either next to me on the end or the other end, and like in the middle was like Big Isaac and a few other people and us, and like our row was just shaking because he was in shock the entire time. And Nick,
he had like the most like the physical, visceral reactions to like every death. Like he'd never seen a movie like this before.
He was really
like the biggest reactions, no pun intended, but like.
I mean, he was really in shock.
I'm very happy to say that.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if like he walked out and he was like, "Yeah, it's all right," and we would have like after the reaction you just had?
After doing all of that, no, I'd be like, what the fuck do you just mean it was all right?
So that to me,
I think it might be the best movie he's ever.
To this day, I think it is, because that man was on a roller coaster of emotions. Literal emotions, and
he was, yeah.
And so that definitely enhanced my experience, and I was like, oh yeah, I love these movies now. And I remember then I saw 3 and 4, so forth, and I'm like, I love this franchise so much. So I like being proven wrong about stuff. And after seeing 2, I was like, yeah, go ahead, Moses, what you got?
No. Just one quick question. I know you guys gotta get to the review a little bit more, but where is this? I mean, it can be spoiler or whatever, or not really spoiler, but where is it set exactly? Where's the location set?
A large part of it takes place in Prague.
Yep.
Okay,
it's New York.
Okay.
New York. It's New York, Prague, and what was that? And the snowy village.
It seems like it was also Russia, maybe.
Maybe.
It doesn't. I was just curious about it
because I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised though, just because it's like it is a lot of like Russian stuff going on in that movie. It's like a lot of Russian characters.
Budapest,
yeah.
Budapest as well.
Or Germany. Maybe I could be wrong.
It was Budapest. It was Prague.
Okay.
It was Prague, Budapest, New York. Because New York, you see a lot of tie-ins to the franchise in New York. Continental and other things.
Yeah.
Again,
Gotcha.
It's in the trailer. I'm not spoiling anything. It's in the trailer. But going into this one, I think we're all fans of the franchise. Again, I do love this franchise so much. I think they get better with every movie. And with seeing this, I was skeptical, kind of like Nick too, because I was like, okay, Chaz Zaleski, who did the first 4, who was Keanu's stunt double in the original movie, in the original Matrix movies, he's a great director. He understands this is his friend, this is his universe. But this was directed by Len Wiseman, and Len Wiseman is famous for the Underworld movies, Total Recall, something else too. Nick, what else did he do that I'm blanking on? Underworld.
So that was, I mean.
Oh no, he did the PG-13 Die Hard.
No, that's right. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a TV series, Swamp Thing, The Gifted, Lucifer, Sleepy Hollow. But this is kind of his first really big movie since Total Recall back in 2012. And again, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the guy's work overall. Again, I did like Live Free and Die Hard for what it was. I wouldn't call myself an Underworld fan or even a Resident Evil fan. So when I heard he was directed, I was like, I'm intrigued. He wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm intrigued. And I want to say this movie was announced like during COVID, like 2020, 2021. And the big thing was like, okay, so and this is before John Wick 4. Again, I don't want to spoil John Wick 4, but like John Wick 4 has a ending, and I was like, well, if John Wick's coming back, how does that kind of like work, whatever. But then it was announced like, no, it's a whole prequel in between 3 and 4. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But the big thing this movie kind of faced for a while was that this movie had a lot of reshoots, and fortunately the movie suffered from COVID, the 2 strikes, and a lot of reshoots. And the rumor was that the original test screening did not test well. Like apparently, like the original test screening, like John Wick was barely in it, and the action wasn't like the same kind of level as the John Wick franchise. So it didn't test well. So the rumor is that they reshot a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff, and they brought in like a bunch of different writers. Like if you go to the IMDb page of this movie, the additional writers, like uncredited writers, is a ton of them. Even Emerald Fennell, who wrote Saltburn, Promising Young Woman. I think we reported this on the show a couple years ago too, that like she was brought on to do rewrites of the movie. But again, this is like 2-3 years ago. This is a while ago. So we had total production. But the thing I told this to Nick the other day too is that there's also rumor that Chaz Stahelski, who did the original 4 movies, again, a big part of this franchise, allegedly is that all the reshoots were done by him. And it's like, because he's a producer of the movie, and his company, 8711, is the production company behind this movie. But because if you watch certain featurettes, you'll see like Len Wiseman directing certain things, but a lot of the action stuff, you see Stahelski behind the director's chair. And I was like, wait, again, not confirmed, but like you can use context clues to understand of like all the news of the reshoots. It went through a lot. So there was a rumor that Stahelski kind of like took over the reshoots of the movie. John Moses.
Maybe he did second unit. Maybe he kind of took over second unit and maybe directed those sequences instead. And let the main director focus on the story. That might have been the reasons for adding more action sequences and everything, like you mentioned, of course.
I think so too. I think
I could be wrong.
No, that's a great point, because the reason because remember in Birds of Prey, he came in and he shot the entire 3rd act of Birds of Prey. That was him. Because they wanted a John Wick kind of feel for the action, so they brought in Stahelski to do a lot of the reshoots for that as well. So it's like this guy. I mean, again, him, David Leitch, these guys know action like very well, and it works out for them. I mean, look at their career so far. I mean, they were stunt guys, some of the biggest movies ever, to second unit directing, to now directing some of the biggest movies ever. And these guys know action very well, and they're very big on like we're gonna make real action in your face, in frame action. That's kind of like the cutaway stuff, whatever. But anyway, besides the point. I was kind of a little skeptical too. I didn't watch the show on Peacock. I heard not so good things about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, so my thing is like, don't dilute the brand if you're not making like quality content that matches, like the original franchise. And to Nick as well, I do copy Nick. I'm happy to report that this is a solid entry in the franchise. It really is. It's a worthy prequel. It's a worthy spinoff. The tone of John Wick is still there. The tone of all the action and the brutality and the bonkersness and how it is bombastic in the best possible way. Ana de Armas really is a just bona fide badass action star. To Nick's point as well, the tease of seeing her, and James Bond and a few other things here and there. Like she's one to be like, like put her in more action stuff. Like she's on that level of like she can act and she can do some really cool stunts. And there's some really cool stunts in this where it's like, oh wow. And then if you're watching the kind of B-roll footage of the training, like her and Keanu were in the dojo together, like training together. It's really cool. Like same the whole tactical thing they do, the whole like, you know, Krav Maga, like the whole like, you know, fist, you know, hand to hand combat. Like they put her through the ringer, and she really showed up for this movie. And also too is that the beauty of like, you know, John Wick franchise, like, you know, it's Keanu doing those stunts. And same with the Ballerina, like you definitely can tell it's Ana de Armas. Like not, I mean, stunt double here and there, of course, but for the most part, you see her in frame. Like she's doing most of her stunts. I'm like, hey, that's awesome. You know, again, you know, kudos to her. And to what I also love too, to Nick's point as well, is that the mythology has now been explored and more expanded. And I do think that this franchise has so much more to explore, where I'd be cool if they're doing more spin-offs like this. Like, hey, you know, this thing, because, you know, on the way back from the screening, talked about like, you know, what about the people who do like the tailors with the guns and you know, weapons, like what about those kind of people, like those kind of like, what's their story behind them, or even more about the Continental, more about the high table in this area, like what maybe does Chicago have one, does Phoenix have one, does LA have a Continental? Like explore those in a very kind of like on brand, you know, kind of like the style of the franchise. So for a spinoff and prequel, this one delivers a lot. Again, the action, again, it's, I feel like we laugh at these movies now because like the violence is so pervasive and it's so like gratuitous, but like you're cheering and you're clapping too. You're just like, yo, hell yes. And keeping this on spoilery.
Yeah, it's more fun these days, I think.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
No, I'm saying, I think it's like it's more fun because it's kind of like we know what to expect, and they kind of keep making ways to like amaze us because they have to keep not like reinventing the wheel, but they got to keep with like, okay, like they're used to like the bloodiness and all that kind of stuff. So one, we have to deliver on that, and we got to make it like really fun and still surprising for everybody too.
Yep.
So I think that was kind of the fun with this one as well.
Spot on.
I would buy this one on Blu-ray. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I can't wait to buy some Blu-ray. I cannot wait. I'm bummed I have my collection. I don't have it next to me, but on next week's episode, I'll bring it. I'll put it on screen. I had like the Bible, like the book he has in the third movie, and it's all the movies in them. It's really cool. Thank you, Best Buy. But I'll show it next week's episode. But again, I do like the involvement with how they involve John Wick, and to keep it on spoiler course, John Wick's involvement is very interesting, and you can definitely tell like it was definitely added in reshoots, and rightfully so. I think it helped the movie out a lot. And one of our friends at the screening the other day, I'll save it for next week, but he mentioned about someone's involvement, about like where it stands, and I was like, huh, interesting. Again, a little bit of a tease right there. But I will say though, I do think my few nitpicks of, even though the action is very on par with like very close to other four movies, you can definitely tell at times it's not as fluid as the first four movies. Does that make sense? Like you definitely tell like it's similar. Yeah. It's different in its own way, and I respect that. Like again, this movie is definitely her movie. This is definitely Ana de Armas, who plays Eve. Like this is her movie. It's not like, oh, John Wick and her little sister. Like no, this is her movie. Like this is her movie through and through. Like no doubt about it. But if you do like, I noticed this too. I watch fight scenes much differently now after watching, you know, David Leitch and Stileski do their movies, and I definitely felt like the action, as brutal as it is, as bombastic as it is, I do think in the first four movies that the fighting's a bit more fluid and more smoother, I'll say. That makes sense. And I'll watch this again for sure. Again, I'll probably watch the first four again this weekend. I'll watch this again maybe next week. But I didn't notice that the action was a little bit not as tight or as fluid as the other movies are. Again, that's a nitpick. I'm not like, oh, how dare they? But I just noticed that a little bit, being a fan of this franchise, seeing all four of those movies like a couple times, owning them on Blu-ray. But there's some stuff in here that took a whole new level of like flamethrowers and, you know, axes and grenades. I'll tell you what, this movie should have a grenade sponsor, because there was so many grenades and explosives in this movie. It was like, talk about explosive. It was like grenade. I was like, dear, oh my God, how many grenades do they have? I was like, geez.
Fire throw too, right?
Oh, bro. In the trailer, right? The flamethrower. Oh, yeah. There's some things where I was like, again, this movie introduces like new things that the last four have not done. And I'm like, hey, kudos to you guys. I like that a lot. And again, and I had a few minor story things here and there where I thought the villain wasn't as strong. The villain was interesting, but like could have been a bit stronger. It is funny at times. There's a lot of humor in it. But I do wish, again, same for the spoiler conversation. I had a few nitpicks of like certain story beats and certain character involvements where I was like, they could use a bit more of X, Y, Z, or you use a bit more of this person, this character, because I feel like they're introduced and it's like, okay, what about more about this or this or whatever. But no, I mean, again, it's brutal too. And to Nick's point before we saw the movie, after the movie, I think also that Seth had this too, or Nino as well, is that I like that they showed the training, because we never saw a John Wick train. Like we never saw John Wick train ever. We never saw him train.
That was cool.
And this movie kind of takes the time to kind of like show the training and like, you know, like the kind of like, okay, how do you do this? How do you do that? What's his combat like? What's his guns, weapon training like? And I do think if they ever did a prequel for John Wick, for Keanu's character, for John, like seeing the training of like, how did he do that? How did he learn this? And again, I appreciate the movie kind of took its time to kind of like show like, oh, this training, here you go. And it's like, oh, cool, good. Because we just assume, again, the first John Wick, we just knew he was a fucking, you know, he's a Baba Yaga, like he's a boogeyman, like he's the ultimate like fucking badass. It's like shit. So did a lot of things I definitely appreciate in this movie. But again, I'll rank them with you guys next week on the spoiler discussion. But I would give Ballerina a solid 8 out of 10. I really would. I think this movie, if you're a fan of this franchise, you're in for a good time. I do think you can also watch it you can probably watch the movie on its own without seeing the other movies. I think you'll appreciate it more if you have seen the other movies, me personally speaking. But it's a good it does a good job of kind of standing on its own, that you can, if you're not a fan of this franchise, you can watch it and still enjoy it for all the action and for Ana de Armas and a lot of the cool, you know, scenery or whatever. But if you want to enhance it, other than seeing with a guy named Big Isaac, definitely watch the other movies first. So I think you'll appreciate it more. But yeah, it's definitely, again, fan of action. This movie's gonna be, again, it's, to me, I think the summer is off to a good start already with, you know, Thunderbolts and Mission Impossible and this. Yeah. You know, I think the summer is shaping out to be a really like diverse set of movies. Like we got action, we got comedy, we got, you know, stunts, cool action, and we got so much more, you know, with How to Train Your Dragon that you saw already, and then, you know, with then Fantastic Four and, I mean, F1, I'm like, this is going to be 20 days later. This could be a great summer movie, guys. I think this definitely has been proving so far. Like, again, compared to last summer before, like, this summer's already off to a huge start already compared to last few summers. So it's cool to see, like, movies are back. They're thriving. And I hope this movie does a good job at the box office to kind of, to Nick's point, too. Like, we definitely want to see Ballerina Part 2 or more like a John Wick Ballerina kind of crossover again, because it was a lot of fun. So, yeah. Definitely check out Ballerina from Lionsgate this weekend on June 6th. All righty, here we go. Moving on to another crazy over-the-top action franchise, and this is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, a movie that I am dying to hear. Moses' thoughts on this. Again, for our listeners, we had a non-spoiler review a few weeks ago on the podcast. Check that out on our YouTube page, also on our podcast feed. So now it's been out, it's doing pretty well for the most part. Not the big hit that they wanted it to be with kind of like the Top Gun Maverick money, but still making money. The big crowd pleaser. Moses, man, again, full warning, guys. Spoiler discussion starts right now. Moses, what did you think of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning?
Man, I thought it was great. If I'm being honest, I thought it was really, really great. I'm gonna go see it again, probably this weekend, to see it in IMAX. I wasn't unfortunately able to see it in IMAX, but I did get to see it in ICE, which was really, really cool. Okay. You know, that's the, you know, immersive cinematic experience.
That's
everything
cool.
Like that. They have these like 4 like panels on the side and everything like that kind of like makes you feel like you're inside that movie.
That's dope.
Which is really
sick.
Cool. And everything. So I was gonna see it in 4DX, but you know I didn't have enough time and everything like that to see it. But seeing it in that experience, the IC experience, I thought it was really, really, really cool, really, really dope. Because especially with this sequence here, you really, really, really feel like you're in there. You really feel like you're in there. You know, especially with those like, you know, panels and everything like that. You know, like on the side, it feels like a, you know, like 360 experience, sort of. You know, sorry, 180 experience. You know, and everything, which I thought was really, really amazing. Especially when like how quiet it was to us well in that sequence. But overall, I gotta go see it again for me to like fully, talk about it more. But just from my first experience in watching the movie, I thought it was really, really great. I mean, like man, like especially with the stunts that he does, in this film, it's
Crazy.
like he's gonna go out being, the guy that's known for doing stunts. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a stunt guy or anything like that. It's gonna be Tom Cruise, nobody else, which is really, really crazy. And I hope that he gets recognized for this film and for many of his films that he has done for doing his own stunt work when he gets, an award, for stunt design, in the future, in 2 years from now. We'll see. But the overall movie, I really enjoyed the tempo of the film. It started off very much as which I get why they did this. It almost started off as there's a lot of exposition in the beginning, the very 30 minutes, because they wanted us to know what was really, really going on. Not just from where we were or anything like that, but also what happened in the past 25 years of us following these characters in general. So I definitely understood that. And then once they did that, they were like, okay, now you know all of this shit. All right, I'm gonna throw you guys in this ship, and you're gonna follow us in this journey that we're about to basically head towards.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was really, really fun, and everything. And yeah, man, it was funny. It was just a ride overall. I'm trying to think of like moments that I really, really enjoyed because there's a lot. I really love like the submarine sequence.
Yeah,
it was very comedic. If you've seen Severance, our buddy, what's his name?
Tremel Tillman. Tremel Tillman.
Yeah, he
Mr. Milchick.
He definitely stole the show because Mr. Milchick, yes, Mr. Milchick. Because he definitely steals the show, especially in my theater and everything like that. Everybody was cracking up. Every single time he says a line, everybody would just laugh, and everything. I appreciated, Tom Cruise doing his one last hurrah of running, just running one more time, because he knows it's like this might be it. This might be the last time I'm gonna be running like this ever again. But it was great. I've been hearing a lot about him stealing the show in this movie.
Oh, he did.
And he really deserved it. Yeah. He really deserves, the praise, and I definitely know after Severance he's gonna be, he's gonna go off and have a career just like, our buddy, what am I forgetting his name? He's gonna be in that Michael Jackson movie, but he's also a really, really good actor too as well.
Miles Teller?
No, he's sorry, give me a second. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Not at all. You giving us nothing, bro.
Coleman Domingo.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, okay, well, what was he in? But I'm like, dang, it's like,
Go
was
Domingo.
is he talking about a new young up and coming actor? No, Coleman Domingo. No,
I can definitely see that trajectory of him sort of like having that, same sort of like career, and everything like that, because like he definitely has that charisma, that charm, and everything like that acting capability and everything. But this scene here, man, this scene here was crazy. This scene here was crazy because I'm just thinking, and I'm watching this thing, and I'm just like, this guy is doing this for real.
Dude, my palms were sweating the whole time. I was like,
and it's like, you know, mom spaghetti. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, no.
Mom spaghetti. This guy.
But it's not CGI, man. It's not
No.
CGI. It's all
No.
real. You can even look from the ground. It's like that's real. If he, it's like one mistake and he, so it's really really crazy to think that he was able to like, jump from one plane, into another plane.
It's
You know
crazy.
what I mean? Yeah, I thought that was really crazy. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I heard that they took this idea from a TikTok video.
Oh
Him
yeah, I
basically
saw
being
McQuarrie talking
jumping
about that
from plane
too.
to another plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what? But hey, man, shit, you get inspired everywhere, I guess. But
True that.
no, I really thought that was great, and I'm glad that it's doing well. Not just critically and everything like that, but also in the box office too as well. Because I know the budget was really really high, but if it
400
can at
mil.
least make a certain amount of money and then make yeah. I think you already hit 370 mil and everything, which is good. If you can at least make it over that amount
Oh
or
yeah.
even somewhat of that amount, and then make more of its revenue in digital distribution and everything like that. I think it's gonna do well, and I think it's gonna do well moving forward. But I just thought it was a good movie. I know I just got to see it again. I got to go see it
See
again
it
at the cinema.
IMAX. See the IMAX
I got to see it again.
because
It's pretty-
see because
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the whole entire plane sequence and the entire submarine sequence is all in IMAX. When we saw the IMAX at the screening, me and Nick both kind of like perked up like this, like during the whole submarine IMAX. And him and I were like looking at each other, we're like, "This is crazy." We definitely like kind of leaned in our seats, so we were like, "Shit."
No, that's what I'm saying. So, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's I'm excited to go see it again. I know it's going to be a movie weekend for me this upcoming
That's the best
week.
type of
So
weekend.
Hell
yeah,
yes.
I gotta see Ballerina. I gotta see
Karate Kid.
the Karate Kid, Homecoming.
Homecoming.
I gotta see. What else is coming out? Isn't there another movie coming out this
The
week?
Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I gotta see-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta
we
see
didn't
that too as well.
we didn't
So,
get that
I
one.
do want to see Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, me too. We didn't get that one,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, I gotta see that. I gotta see it.
Um,
Yeah, I know. I think it's only in LA and New York right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
sounds about right. I think
Time to head to LA.
yeah, we're staying with Moses. We so
Hey! I be thinking, man. I be thinking when the Odyssey does come out, I'm like, if the theater is really, really big, once I see
Oh, the
the screen
IMAX?
how big it is,
Oh yeah,
you guys have to come here. You
100%.
guys have to come here, but that's
100%
like in
will.
the future. We'll talk about that later.
we'll have a field
Um,
trip, a John in Real Life podcast field
but
trip.
I
See
get my
you.
boy Matt to hook us up with some tickets. I got y'all.
Oh, okay. Bet. But yeah, sorry. You're gonna ask me a question?
No. So this is what's interesting to me. That okay. So again, this is a small discussion. It's a little tease for you. Why I see an IMAX. You know how remember in Sinners, you know how like the aspect ratio changes during certain scenes or Sinners. They do the same thing in this
Yeah.
for the underwater submarine thing because when he moves the handle, the ratios change as he does it. And it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
It's
Wow,
really cool. And me and
Yeah.
Nick,
It's one I know, right?
it's still one. It's one I know, but they still do the thing with the aspect ratio changes. And it was funny. I turned to Nick, and Nick already knew. Nick was like shaking his head, like, "Yep," like he already knew. Like when I looked at him, he was like, "Yeah, I saw that too," and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's really cool how they use like as he moves the lever, the black bars kind of just like slowly go up. And it's really one I know, but they still utilize that, which is really cool.
That's
It's
a
cool.
really cool technique to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To open up, those bars and everything like that.
I feel like there's been like an evolution in how like the transition between like the IMAX aspect ratios. Like I feel like it's like changed. Like because I remember like in Dark Knight Rises, when Chris Nolan was like switching back and forth from those aspect ratios, it would just like cut back and forth. So it was cool, but it was a little bit jarring.
Yep.
With Sinners, it like would slowly expand, and like you just mentioned with Mission Impossible, like it'll like go like movie kind of like the more he turns it, the more.
Oh,
It was really cool.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's cool.
The evolution, I like that. Also, I like that.
With Catching Fire, was it Catching Fire, right? That's what Rachel changed to as well. From her coming from like the underground like tunnel to battle, sort of like whatever field and everything, and aspect ratio kind of changes.
Yeah.
To as well, the higher she gets up.
So Nick has never seen Catching Fire yet. I gave him the Blu-ray to watch it when we watch the new one next year. But when you watch the Blu-ray includes the scene where when she goes up in the tube, and to Moses' point, exactly, it's like it's widescreen, but as she's in the tube going up to the games, it goes. And what's really cool is that I'm kind of bummed they do this for the Blu-ray, but for the last Hunger Games prequel, the Songbirds and Snakes, he did the same thing for that movie too, but they didn't put it to the Blu-ray or digital release. And I was like, because when we saw it at the screening years ago, I said, oh, he did the same thing he did for Catching Fire. And it's like when they go up to the games for the prequel, they walk in, it went, things changed. And I was like, wow, see, this is like using the aspect ratio as a whole narrative, as a storytelling choice. And I was like, I like that. And to Nick's point too, it's like Chris Nolan uses it very well, but like to Nick's point as well is that it's very jarring when a guy kind of jumps around from like normal IMAX, like use it like as a narrative tool or storytelling tool to kind of like, have us go with you on this journey to like with the aspect ratio change. So I hope more filmmakers, use that moving forward. I hope so. I hope so,
man. I hope so. IMAX technology is definitely getting better and better. You know what I mean? And I feel like in about like 5 years from now, there's probably going to be new, even better IMAX technology overall when it comes to IMAX, digital or film, and everything. And I hope that IMAX digital, kind of realize how important that 4:3 aspect ratio really, really is. And they move towards that too as well with their, sensors and everything, with their camera sensors and everything, instead of that one nose sensor. But hey, man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited. But I really love this movie, man. I really do. And especially, wait, I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Oh, no. Please keep going, man.
It's a group discussion.
Keep going, brother. Keep going.
No. I was just gonna say, I just love, I just love the ending. How it ends too as well, and how, Tom Cruise's character, Ethan, is like kind of just like looking around at his friends, realizing they can't exactly, communicate, in public or whatever, but they just all look at each other and everything like that. And, we have this shot. It's like a tracking shot where we basically just pull out and we see all of these, people just kind of colliding and everything. And like Ethan kind of looks back behind the camera and he walks away. I thought it was really, really cool. I thought that sequence was really, really cool for some reason. I don't know why.
It's cool because
I thought it was cool.
It's a good sequence, like kind of sentimental. And since we are in the discussion, I like that they were able to end. And actually, hold up a second, y'all.
Do you think this is the end though?
The missus has not seen the movie yet, and I don't want to spoil it.
Huh? Do you think this is the end? And do you think this is the last one?
I hope it's the last one for Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Like if they're gonna continue it, like do new characters, new missions, and everything like that. But I really feel like Ethan Hunt's story is done. But no, for that last scene, like I liked how, it's a solid ending just in general, but like nobody really had to die. It's like they can all just kind of go off and, they're still going to be doing those impossible missions, as it were. But, I kind of like that. I like that everybody is able to continue on and, like whatever Mission Impossible ever after.
Yeah.
I wish my man Luther would have gotten the same treatment though. I feel like, you feel me? Because I'm like, it's like, I don't know, like that's. I probably would have changed that. Like, it was a significant like death for sure, but it's just like I'm like I don't know, man.
Happened so fast.
He was like he in all of them. I'm happy for except for part 4. He wasn't in part. It happened fast because it was right at like the beginning. It hit for sure, and I guess if it is the last movie, like someone important has to die, so that makes sense. But I don't know, like that was just kind of like I'm like if I could change one thing, but I think that's just because I like the actor Ving Rhames so much. So that's one of the few changes I would make.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like I wanted them, yeah, I wanted them to do more with like the and not necessarily do more with the entity, but just kind of do something different. Because I remember like when Ethan was gonna go in that box where it was like flashing all the images and yeah, and the character Paris played by Clemente. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but I remember she was telling him like if you go in there it'll change you. So I was kind of like, yo, how's it gonna change you? But it seemed like he was just Ethan Hunt for the whole rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I wish I would have done something like, because he had such an intense exposure to it, like he would have been, you know, opposite, like almost like a Dark Reflection version of I forget his antagonist in the movie that was like
Gabriel?
trying to get the entity back. It was like Gabriel, like I thought it was gonna be kind of like Gabriel, not in like I thought it was gonna be like Gabriel, not in that like, well now Ethan's like evil or like he's turning like dark side or whatever, but I would have liked it if it was kind of like Ethan was just doing like he's always doing crazy shit, but I would have loved it if like, okay, like after he went into like that box with the entity, he hasn't really been acting the same since then. Like I would have liked it if like even for Ethan Hunt, like even like his actions just seem a lot more dangerous or like risky or irrational. Like I would have liked to see like a kind of unhinged Ethan Hunt, but by the end of the movie, it's still revealed that like, okay, like he never really like lost his shit. It's just he was just on some other shit.
Yeah,
he lost it though. If that and I wanted them to get into the history of Ethan Hunt and Gabriel, because in the film they established that they had like 30 years ago or something like that, and talking about like, or like Gabriel alluded to the fact that like a lot of the women in Ethan Hunt's life end up getting like killed or something like that, and it seemed like there was like a flashback to someone. So I thought that they were gonna follow up with that in this one. They basically just didn't. Wanted to see a little bit more of that, and like, oh, like, well, how did and why did Ethan Hunt join the IMF? And it seemed like they were trying to do like a little romantic chemistry thing between Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell's character. I wasn't really a fan of that. Like I think I would have liked it more if it was like a mentor protege type thing. I get kind of tired of like all of the romance stuff, especially after Ilsa just died. Bro, like
yes,
it just kind of seemed like you're hopping a little bit, my guy.
Thank you.
Like no disrespect, but I'm like, hey, your woman just died, bro. Like
thank you.
Just got with her, now she's got it. And I was like, he's like Haley Atwell's character. I'm like, nah.
On to the next one, and I'm glad you brought it up because I was with you on that.
Yeah,
I felt like
Ethan, bro.
She just died in the last one. Also, we spent 3 films with her. We spent her with Rogue Nation, Fallout, and The Reckoning. And I was like, she just died. I felt like we kind of forgot about her. Like, just kind of forgot about her. I was like, she was a big part of that team, of Ethan's arc at least. And it's kind of like, Ilsa who? It's like, well, she was a big part of the last 3 movies. Like, you guys killed her off. And I was just like, well, what the fuck? And I'm with you on that, where I didn't really feel the chemistry. I mean, chemistry for sure, but I wasn't really into the whole their love story personally either. But to your point, it was because of like, you guys set up all this time with, I think it was, who was Julie, right? Or Julia? Michelle Monaghan, his wife.
I want to say Julie. Julie.
Okay. Julie. So then you had Julie.
Are you talking about?
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah.
Julie. So Julie, you brought her back in 6. Okay. Oh, we saw her in 4. Then we saw her in 6, and then whatever. But then it seemed like, okay, they're gonna make Ilsa and Ethan a couple, and I'm like, hey, I'm with that because they have a lot of chemistry, whatever. And it was like, no, they killed her off in the Reckoning,
and their lives mesh well together too.
Yes.
So it sense.
They kind of just forgot about her. And speaking of forgetting, whatever happened to the White Widow, Vanessa Kirby's character? They never mentioned her ever again. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
They never mentioned her at
they
all in this one. And
But-
she was a big part of the final act.
Yeah, I realized that.
I wonder if like maybe it's because she's doing Fantastic Four, so it's like maybe she just
definitely.
didn't have the time. But yeah, like I feel like
No
especially with a movie like this, if you're gonna be bringing like everybody back, because they brought the dude, and I loved this by the way. The dude who was it called, like the Black Room or something like that. I forget what the room was called, like the
Don
stuff
Lowe.
that Tom Cruise had to do in the very first.
Yeah, William Don Lowe. Yeah, that
Don
guy.
Lowe. I love that they brought him back.
That was cool.
That was fantastic. But I like all of the callbacks that they did, but there was just some stuff where I'm like, I feel like I done a little bit different. Like Moses brought up, like the first like half hour, it did feel very exposition heavy, and I get it because it's part 2. We got to get the audiences up to speed, but I think I would have preferred it more if it's like we kind of just hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And it's just like go. But they gave Benji his moment. I like that. Like Benji was kind of like team leader for a little bit. I thought that was cool, and it made sense too. It didn't feel forced or anything. Yeah.
I was kind of like surprised that like again, as much as I love, I'm a big Simon Pegg fan, a huge fan of his. Like if they killed him, I would have felt like, wow, they killed off Luther and they killed off Benji. I'd have been like, wow, like shit. I would have been actually impressed.
That would have been too much for me to handle, bro.
Oh, for me too. But like, I would have been like, damn, this movie's taking some risks. Like, there's like some stakes in this motherfucker. So I was like, I was kind of like,
you're like this really is the last fucking movie.
Yeah. Speaking of bringing back, I love how they brought back Angela Bassett in this one too. I thought she was kind of underutilized in in Fallout.
No. I mean, that whole sequence, whenever they would basically jump back into that office and everything, I thought they did a really, really good job. I thought that was probably one of the most, it was very like intense. It's the wrong word for it and everything like that, but it was very intense and everything like that with the dialogue and what was going on and everything. And everybody in there, and I forget their names already. Everybody in there, literally like every single role, was great, and everything. So. But I really thought Angela Bassett really like stole the show in those sequences that were happening
so good.
Whenever she would basically be in frame. Yeah. So I was when in her playing like the president and everything like that, I was like,
no, I love that.
Yeah, I was like, man, she can like really like she's like you can tell there's like even in Wakanda Forever, I was kind of like comparing the two, of her being like a queen in Wakanda Forever and her being like president in this.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like she has this like she knows how to like put in she knows how to have power.
She commands the room.
Yep.
Yeah, she knows how to have power. I'm like, dang, bro, like it's crazy. It's like I don't know. I thought she killed it.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She's so good. And I still not happy that well, not happy, but like it's so funny that like 2 movies later we never addressed that her right hand man was a fugitive / arms trader with Henry Cavill. It's like, yo, your guy that you trusted for so long was a snake.
No, yeah, they swept that shit
snake
right under the rug, man.
Hey, man, hey, when she was like, hey, if I'm gonna be president, I'm gonna make sure everything goes in the dirt,
Yeah. No, that's true.
He's like, but Madam President, he's like, hey, don't bring this shit up.
Yeah. Erica, he was like, oh shit. And I also, okay, speaking of that room, actually, and this is me, maybe I'm nitpicking, whatever. I'm a big fan of Nick Offerman, but he kind of felt out of place, almost like Alec Baldwin was in 5 and 6. I was like, why is Nick Offerman in this? And I was like, oh, okay, good fan of him. And then even Alec Baldwin, same thing in 5 and 6. I was like, what? Again, yeah, funny actors, but it's like, why are they in this? It kind of felt out of place where I was like, oh, it's Nick Offerman without his mustache or beard. And I was like, oh, that's okay. And then he got shot. Yeah.
No, because I'm with you. Like, I was when where he did I was kind of like, okay, to be like, I to be like part of the entity's scheme like the whole time. So I was like, oh, maybe that's why they got Nick Offerman, because it's gonna be, you know, it's you get a big name actor for like this big reveal, and then they just wasn't part of like nothing basically. So it just kind of felt like I could have played him.
Yeah,
respectfully.
You could have, but
I'm like, you know, to your point, it's like I don't think they.
No, man, I thought Nick Offerman like did a good job. I really thought.
No,
he did a good job, but it was just kind of like
it wasn't
place.
Like.
Oh yeah.
It didn't feel like it was like you know, the craziest like role.
Yeah.
If it was some shit,
no, like, I mean, it was a small role, but you know, he handled it in a manner that wasn't too like, you know, I don't know, that wasn't like too outlandish or anything like that. He played it, you know, smart. He knew the character that he was playing, basically. And and I do not. Yeah, I do not think
I'm with you on
Nick Johnson over here will pull that role. Nah,
oh man.
What's that?
I beg to differ.
No, because you were talking. I was like, I do not think, you know, Nick Johnson could play that role.
I could play it blindfolded with both my hands tied behind my back, both my feet tied up, bro. Shit. I'll play it right now.
See, Mission Impossible 9.
I'll tease it.
Still reckoning.
Yo, guys.
Huh?
What you got?
No, go ahead, Nick.
No, because Nick Offerman, like, good actor, solid actor.
Great actor.
It just kind of felt like
Is it Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, it just felt like. Yeah, because even like Alec Baldwin, I was like, why did y'all bring him into this franchise? And then with Fallout, why is he back into this franchise?
And his fight scene was so bad.
I'm not saying I'm happy that his character died. Yeah, he's like, he had the line about like, oh, it doesn't look like your gun's loaded. What about this one though? First off, that line aged terribly.
Yeah.
But it was also just kind of like,
like
Alec Baldwin, and like I'm not feeling it.
Wait, Alec Baldwin, he was in this movie?
No, I'm talking about.
We were saying,
Fallout.
we were saying that we were comparing to like, it felt like Nick Offerman kind of felt like how Alec Baldwin was in the 5th and 6th movies. He kind of felt like, okay, like you're a good actor, but like, why are you in this? To us at least, it was like okay.
I recognize you from everything else.
I think otherwise.
That's why I didn't ask you, Moses. Anyway,
it's the beauty of this podcast. All right, I have two questions for you guys. Why? Okay, first off, are you guys kind of bummed like me that we never saw Jeremy Renner again or Paula Patton? Because I want to see them again at least one more time.
I think there was a rumor going around. It's only a rumor, and excuse me, anybody, whoever is hearing, but there was a rumor going around talking about how like Jeremy Renner was essentially going to take over, you know.
That's true.
Tom Cruise's
franchise
and everything like that, right? Maybe you know, and Tom Cruise wasn't all about it or whatever, or somewhat not, you know, in favor of it. So, you know, when the studio was like, "Hey, we really want to, you know, we really want to continue this franchise in a different direction," I think Tom Cruise, when came, you know, Fallout, you know, he was like, "Jeremy, you can't be in this movie anymore." Blah blah. I might be wrong, man. This is only rumor, you know, and forgive me if I am spreading out more rumors, but you know, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But with what's her name again?
Paula Patton.
Yeah, I think she just had I think she just had like a crazy thing with her husband or ex-husband.
Yeah, Robin Thicke.
Or whatever.
Oh, Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
Robin Thicke and everything like that. With like that situation that was also going on in that period or whatever. But I think that's probably the reason why. But because I thought she was great, man.
She was so good. Ghost Protocol. She was so good. She was so good in Protocol.
Yeah, she was.
She's so good.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
And she was really good.
Here it comes.
Yeah, she was great. Dude. No, sorry, excuse me. But yeah, I think she was great. I really thought she was great, and as well as Jeremy Renner, but do know that she made just what he did, Ballerina. I really think they should make a spinoff and really explore that role, because I feel like that role is essentially now only getting bigger and it's making more money now. You know what I mean? It's making more money than it ever did before. So yeah, so I think it should continue on, but with a different type of group, or I don't know. But Nick, go ahead.
Well, for Renner, honestly, yeah, cool if he like came, at least referenced him.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. It would have been cool if he came back, because it was cool to see him in Ghost Protocol. I think I liked him more in Ghost Protocol than in Rogue Nation. I just like Ghost Protocol a little bit more than Rogue Nation in general. But no, it would have been cool, especially since it's like this is the last movie. They're bringing like everyone and everything back. Oh yeah. Bring back Jeremy Renner, like Paula Patton for me, like that. It would have been cool if she came back too. But I will admit, like at the same time, because I think I got to just watch Ghost Protocol again. I don't know that she didn't like really stick out to me. It was just, I just liked it because it was like, oh, I recognize this actress from like all these other projects. But at the same time, she wasn't like a weak point in the movie at all. No, it would have been cool if like they did bring everybody back to be on like yo, it's the Entity. This is like an all hands on deck situation. So it's like I'm fucking bringing like everybody back from my previous teams that hasn't been bodied already. Yeah, bringing everybody back. So it would have been cool. It is kind of, on one hand, it's like kind of weird that like y'all didn't reference these guys because they were pretty like big parts of like the respective movies that they were in. But at the same time, like I could see an excuse for them like not bringing them up if they just because the movie was kind of like we gotta like go. So it's kind of like our resources are limited, and this is like the biggest enemy / antagonist we've faced to date. So, I don't know. Nah, fuck it. I would have liked to see everybody come back.
Yeah.
I feel like that would
go out with a bang. Like bring everyone back. Like almost do like what kind of Fast 5 did. Bring everybody back from the franchise. Bring everyone who's still alive.
Damn. Yeah.
Do a full on like, hey, like almost like the All Stars, kind of just like, hey, we got this person, this person. Like go all out. And they could have. It's a 3-hour movie. They could have got everybody, or have them utilize like a certain thing of like, oh, like this person helped out with this with Ethan on this thing, whatever, or this thing, whatever. It would have been cool. It would have been cool. My other question I have for you guys is, what was the thing with Hannah Waddingham's character, the captain of the letter that he gave her from Angela Bassett, from the president? It had May 22nd, 1996.
I think that was just a reference for the very first movie or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah, because I think the first movie came out in 95 or 96.
So the date.
Matter of fact.
So the date of on the letter that she gives Ethan is the actual release date of the first movie.
Yes, it's 98.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was just a reference for that, because I didn't exactly get it. Because I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get it as much. So I just know that that movie came out around that time, essentially.
I think for the fans, it was a reference to the first movie, but I think in universe, they said that like Angela Bassett and what was the other actress's name?
Hannah Waddingham.
It's Hannah Waddingham. Yeah,
I think it was like Angela Bassett and Hannah Waddingham's character. Something happened between the something very specific happened on that day, because I think it was like something where like she just like really had to. Like one of them, like had to essentially just really trust the other one with something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And because I don't remember them like going into it. I think it was just kind of like I'm bringing up this date, and this is code for like Listen, trust me, do what the fuck Ethan Hunt says. He is our
Okay.
last hope.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Dang, I gotta watch it again.
When I saw it the second time, that's why I wrote down my notes and I said, "What was the
They might
date?"
have referenced it.
Yeah, the date. I was like, what's with the date?" And I liked Katie O'Brien involvement. Also liked the wife of Donald, actress Lucy. Her last name starts with a T. I think I'm gonna try to butcher her last name, but the actress who played his Donald's wife.
Spell it.
TULUGARJUK.
Write it down and then hold it up to the camera. No. Wait. What was she? What was she again?
She was,
because I'm literally on IMDb right now.
She was the wife. She was the wife of Donald when they go to Alaska. She was remember the one that had the dogs with. I liked her a lot.
Gotcha.
I liked her a lot. I thought she was a good addition to
it. She was a really fun character.
No, she was. She, you know what's crazy? There's no picture.
Yeah, I don't even try to butcher her last name. I was like, I'm not even gonna try it. But Lucy, I think Lucy T, and she played Donald's wife. Also, my favorite line in the movie is the scene they're on the plane, and Donald and Ethan Hunt meet for the first time. And it's just again because he's like 30 years later, basically, and he goes, "I ruined your life." He goes, "Nah, man, that's a whole matter of perspective, friend." I said, "I love that line, the matter of perspective." And he goes, "No, I meant you. Thanks to you.
Look at it too.
Thanks to you, I meant my love of my life, my wife." And I was like, "Oh, I love that. I love that. Wasn't like, man, fuck you, man, for like sending me here." It was like, "Thank you." I love that. It wasn't like kind of like like ego thing. I'm like, "Yo, bro, you ruined my life, whatever." Because in the first one, the callback to that was great. Because the first one, Kittrick tell the guy, he goes, "Send that moron to some place in Alaska." Like full circle moment with this one. So I was kind of like,
oh my god,
yeah, which I really appreciate the callback to that.
Louisa.
But Katie O'Brien, I like seeing a lot.
That's a really good callback.
Katie O'Brien, I like seeing her a lot and stuff. Yeah, I thought she was great, and with Twisters, I thought she was really good in Love Lies Bleeding. So I like seeing her in more stuff. So definitely a fan of her as well. What was the other thing I was going to bring up to you? I was going to ask about you guys. Okay, this is my theory too, and we'll end on this. This is my theory. Is unless you have any more thoughts you want to bring up, Moses or Nick.
No. I don't. There's no thoughts in theory. I just hope that they just make they basically expand on the franchise. Just let Tom Cruise have a break or whatever it is. But
he needs one.
And just bring somebody else that's new, because I heard they're talking about bringing Glenn Powell, but if he doesn't want to do it, then bring somebody else. Like, I don't know, bring somebody else a little bit younger or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. So
this is my thing. So for Paramount Plus has a lot of original stuff, and I mean they have like Star Trek, of course, those shows, but I feel like if they could get a boost in their subs if they did a Paramount Plus IMF show, like not Tom Cruise. Again, Tom Cruise could be a producer on it, whatever, but like do like what Mo said, have like Jeremy Renner come in board and like kind of lead the IMF. They're like, "Hey, dude, this is your mission. He's the new director of the IMF," and like give people missions, kind of like training the new wave of IMF agents. It's like, yo, like if you want to be the best of the best, whatever, you gotta do this, whatever. Kind of like do what Bourne Legacy couldn't do, unfortunately, but like make it an IMF series. And you bring back Jeremy Renner, maybe Paul Patton, maybe a few other people too. Maybe Benji makes an appearance here and there, but like explore that universe a bit more. But like do an episodic for P Plus, because I think P Plus needs a hit.
Yeah, and I just do think that if they do decide to expand, they need to bring in people that are like younger and everything.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, they can bring in like people in like that were in this and that or whatever it is, but bring in people that are new, but still have a really huge fandom and everything like that, but also they're just like, I don't know, fresh, and everything. But I'm excited to see what else they do overall, because it was, I feel like they'll be missing out on they'd be missing out on that check if they decided to rap now. So.
Okay, that's my next question. Because again, I don't want to start single him out. I know he's a good actor. I know he's trying to do better now. But look at The Rock. A lot of The Rock stuff didn't work, and now he's going back to he's going back to like Fast and Furious or whatever. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Tom Cruise has made a lot of good movies. Not all of them have made Mission Impossible or Top Gun money. My beloved Edge of Tomorrow did not make money. Beloved by everybody, did not make money. Oblivion. Bro, Edge of Tomorrow is so fucking. It's so good. Oblivion, good. Didn't make a lot of money. The Mummy, unfortunately, I don't know if you're a fan of it. The Mummy did not do well at all. That movie stopped their
undeniably it did not.
That was
what is it?
I mean, think about it too. Like that movie had a universe planned. And that movie did so bad, they go, just kidding, we're pulling the plug on it. Remember that the whole photo?
Dropping the universe at the first movie is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Usually they'll get like usually they'll be able to squeeze out like maybe like 3 or 4 movies, but damn, the first movie? And then it's over?
Yeah. I mean, so my question is to you guys. Again, I think Tom Cruise had a lot of cool stuff, planned. He's doing a movie with Alejandro, who did Birdman and The Revenant, which is really cool. Got a few more movies with Doug Liman, who did, in movie American Made, awesome movie, super underrated. No one saw that movie. So much fun. No one saw that movie. I mean, no one. I mean, that movie just went nowhere. So I'm gonna put here it is right here. This was the Dark Universe. Where we had like Russell Crowe, Javier Bardem, Johnny Depp, Sophia Boutella.
I remember being so fucking excited for this. I grew up like watching these characters, the Universal monster movies, man.
Yeah, the cast, man. The cast was stacked,
Oh, when they dropped this, I was like, oh, it's on. And then fucking 2018 rolled around, and then 2019 rolled around, and then 2020. I was kind of like, was that it?
Yeah.
Was it just the movie and the fucking photo?
Don't put your cart before your horse.
Because apparently they weren't even in the same room in this.
No, they weren't.
Which is crazy. Don't put before the horse. Exactly.
Wait, they weren't?
No, they weren't.
It's all Photoshop. Like they took these individual photos and then just meshed them together.
No, that's crazy.
Oh,
that's crazy. I mean, it looks good. It looks like a one giant ass photo.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what movie y'all are working on based on this photo, but I'm in.
They should Paramount should like go back and look at this photo and think about a movie that can be made from that photo.
Just do the Dark Universe anyway. Like fuck it. Like just have it be like, hey, Paramount Plus original, The Mummy 2, but just with without Tom Cruise or whatever the fuck. Just because I'm like, I would like to see how it would have gone down. So I think at one point Channing Tatum was even at least like to be a part of it.
Yeah. It was a bummer. The opening that Mummy's not terrible with him and Courtney B. Vance and Annabella Wallace and Nick Jay was it Nick Johnson? Jay Johnson. But so okay. My question for you guys: if Tom Cruise again, I'm not again. I think he's a really good actor too. I think he's really, other than him doing all the action stuff like Jerry Maguire, Edge of Tomorrow, Collateral, you name it, Magnolia. Tropic Thunder. He's a great actor. Do you guys think if he kind of has a similar thing as The Rock, you do all these things and they're not working, do you go back to the cash cow and the well? I'll be like, hey, we tried, back to mission.
No, I don't do that because that would be kind of like if they just had like a script for another Mission Impossible movie, and like it was like, yo, like I really wasn't gonna come back, but when I read the script, I knew we had to make this movie. By all means, do it, but don't ever like come back to do it like just for the money, because then it's kind of like, it will be a sellout move, and then it kind of, I feel like it takes credibility away from the movie a little bit. Because it's like, it doesn't feel like y'all wanted to make this movie. It felt like y'all kind of had to, either to bring in more money or just to keep someone famous.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you think, Moses?
What? I mean, I know that, when they basically decided to take this movie and, bring in new people and kind of make a, kind of do what they're doing with Ballerina and everything like that with John Wick. I feel like they need to start with like a lower budget. If they do that, with the lower budget film and everything like that, and then basically expand on that budget if it gets better and better, just like what they did with John Wick in general.
Yeah.
Right. Every single movie, the budget basically went up because of how much money it made and every single film and everything. So, and yeah, basically decided to take it in that route. I don't think they could fail. Like forget about Rotten Tomatoes. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you can get people in theaters, if you can get your audience score still high and everything, your audience score, the people that actually go and watch the movie that actually appreciate it too as well. I feel like if you can do that, then that's all that matters. But hey, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'll say this. If you were gonna have a situation where Tom Cruise was gonna come back to like a Mission Impossible movie or franchise, don't have him be the main character.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be like the side character. You have him come in like what he did with
No, exactly. Yeah. So here's my pitch. This is how I would do it, right? So it's a brand new team, new director, everything like that. But it's like all they know is that they have to get to this location and like retrieve this asset, right? But it's like it's a very dangerous asset, and it's kind of like the whole time that they're like going through the movie, they're kind of like, we don't know what the fuck this is. We don't know like what, who, or like what this is about. Like all we know is that we have to retrieve it, blah, blah, blah. It's, it's Mission Impossible. So it's kind of like the whole movie. It's like all these impossible situations that they got to like get in and get out of. They reach the end of the movie and, like they find the asset, and then it's a revelation. Like, oh shit, this wasn't just like a briefcase or some shit. We had to find like, it's Ethan Hunt. Like everybody knows who Ethan Hunt is. And like, maybe it's like, I would do it like, it's a dark room. Like everybody locks eyes with Ethan Hunt, and it's like this kind of, it's like music. It's like this oh shit moment. And then, Ethan Hunt, he jumps up. It's like taking everybody out, just basically like washes everybody. Right. And then like, but he doesn't kill anybody because he recognizes that they're IMF. And then, as he's leaving the room, because no one is on his level, he says some shit like, you don't know what's going on. Just kind of something like that. Or like, this isn't exactly what it looks like. Just something. And then like, no, I wouldn't necessarily end it there, but like that would be like when he fucking leaves, and then the whole team is kind of like, what? Like it's kind of like we are way in over our heads. Like this is kind of just, it's almost like a horror movie scene when he comes in.
I like that.
I would do something like that, like where it's like he's just in like 2 or 3 scenes, but like those scenes are important, but he's not the main focus like that. Like it really is like, this is a new team, and this is just one of those times where it's literally like the same movie that they keep making where Ethan Hunt, like he goes rogue and no one knows what he's doing, but it's just from the opposite perspective.
Yeah.
Instead of us like following him, like we're following the team that's chasing them, So I would do something like that.
I like that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't really do necessarily a film where they're chasing Ethan or anything like that. I would do a mission that, that's a little bit different and everything. And that's more grounded, that it's not exactly a worldwide event, but a more, domestic event instead.
I like that.
I would definitely do that. And fuck it, we're gonna take the Fast and Furious route now.
Oh my god, we're going to space. We're going to space.
We're going to space. No, I'm kidding. No, but
you're gonna hear that.
I'll definitely do more to that.
Next Mission Impossible, you're gonna hear, "What more do you want from me?"
It's gonna be Mission Impossible Family.
Oh god. Oh.
Bro, could you imagine that the next Mission
Impossible? No,
that'd be a crazy crossover too. That would be
it's crazy.
Could you imagine, bro? Like guys, like think about it. Like the next the next like Mission Impossible, like the whole like the message of like good evening, Ethan, like your mission. So you see this popped up instead. You see this that you see on the screen.
He's like, should you choose to accept? Oh my god!
For audio listeners,
should you choose to accept this mission?
For our audio listeners, we have the Tyrese crying meme up as a reference, and Nick, you're so funny for that, bro.
Oh
my god!
Hey, I fool with Tyrese, but he should not have dropped that video.
No,
respectfully, I was like watching. I was like, why did you release this, man? Like,
you saw this, right? I sent you guys on the chat. Should never smoke that shit. Now,
no, I gotta watch it.
This is the meme on Twitter. Should never smoke that shit, bro. Now I'm in the festival. That was like pretty funny, actually. One of these movie things I always crack up, but I had to share that for the one time. Mose, what would you give Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning as a rating?
Man, if I had the rating I would have to give this movie, and I will give my highest score, bro. I'll give it a D.
I was about to fucking say, like, I like this. I like this movie a lot. I think it did everything well. I'd probably give it like an F, though.
That's
if I'm trying to be gentle, I thought it was
F
favorite of the franchise.
I know,
but no, this movie is definitely it's definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. This is a 9 out of 10. 8 out of 5, but a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
All right, real quick before we close out, real quick, ranking wise, how would you rank this franchise? Real quick.
Ooh. Me or Moses?
Everybody.
Oh, I thought we were doing that next week.
No, as Ballerina, John Wick franchise next week.
Oh, what? Yeah. Dude, I'm probably gonna not be good, but I will try my best. Because I started watching from my Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah,
I needed freaking watch 1 and 2.
Oh, have fun.
I
got mine. Mine goes in order from best to favorite to least favorite. Ghost Protocol, Fallout, Final Reckoning, 3, Dead Reckoning Part 1, first, and then MI2. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. Ghost Protocol, Fallout, Final Reckoning, 3, Rogue Nation, Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible 1, and MI2.
Okay.
I'm with that. I'm gonna say 3.
Okay.
Fallout.
Okay.
Final Reckoning. Ghost Protocol.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Reckoning. Part 1. Ghost Protocol. Rogue Nation and 2.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with me, I mean, since I, hey, don't get me on this or whatever. Since I haven't like seen 1 or 2.
Yeah, what?
I kind of have to skip those.
Okay.
I kind of have to skip.
You're not missing much.
I'm so sorry.
You're not missing much.
But
fuck that. 1 is dope. 2 is cool, but it's just like it was a little
John
weird.
Woo. John
it was
Woo.
good, but it was just kind of like It's ice cream and burgers. Both are good, not necessarily together.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I would say Oh man, Fallout was dope. I would say Fallout. I would say no. I would say this. Final Reckoning, number one for
Wow.
me, and number
Okay.
two is Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Ghost Protocol was dope for me. Seeing that in theater, it was probably one of like my earliest films that I was able to see in theaters and everything. Uh, yeah, I was late to the game and seeing movies in the theater. I didn't grow up on it and everything, sadly. But yeah, so it goes like I said again, Final Reckoning, Ghost Protocol, and Rogue Nation, and and then Fallout, and then Dead and Reckoning comes in at last. I would say,
With it.
because the reason why for Dead Reckoning, because they hyped up this bicycle scene so much, and it kind of just like landed flat. But shit, man. Tom Cruise was like, you know what? In Final Reckoning, I'm gonna do all this crazy shit. You ain't gonna say nothing.
He's like, I don't want to hear shit. All right.
I run this shit.
So,
yeah.
But yeah. No, that's mine in order. So.
Nice. What time is your movie?
I like that.
8:30.
It's technically at 9 and everything like that, but I wanted to like get ready.
Okay.
But it's literally like 15 minutes away.
Okay.
Like walking, so like totally fine.
Cool. Making sure. All right. Real quick. Again, so that is again. We're now at a spoiler discussion. Real quick, as we always end the show, we do our one-on-ones of the week, which is our one TV show, one film recommendation that we love to share with you guys. Nick, starting with you, man. What is your one-on-ones of this week?
For my movie, you know what? Fuck it. Pardon my language. I'm gonna go with John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. It wasn't my favorite at first when I'm really one of them to just do again where like it was kind of like it had like the action montage. It was like him versus the city basically, and it was just like nonstop. They didn't really do that, but I rewatched it a couple of times and I realized like they kind of again the story a little bit. They went into like why are you doing all of this, and like your wife already died and the dog's dead. Like what's the point? And I remember he had this line like was that in Parabellum or was that in part 4? Because I remember he was saying like I want to remember her. Like that's like
I think it was 3.
That's why I want to fight for my life. Just like, oh, okay, good. It would have been crazy, dude, if I would have been like, I love 3, and then I was like quoting the reason from like number 4. But no, like I like that they kind of went into like I'm in a way like I am doing this for my wife. Like the only thing I have left of her is my memory of her, and that's like just like I don't know, there's just something really like really like powerful about that, and I just like how it started. I like the way because it picks up right after part 2. It's like everybody's on your ass now. Pause. But great start, great finish. I just love the movie overall. Like Halle Berry was really cool in it. The scene with the dogs. I loved it. And it just kind of felt like at that time, like it was like this is really John Wick being like pushed to the edge. He got branded, had to like fucking cut his finger off, man. Like this dude was going through it. And then for my show, I just recently picked up again. I started rewatching The Blacklist. I tried watching it a few years ago. I only got like a few episodes in, but I'm just doing a rewatch of it now. It's on Netflix, and yep, James Spader. They got my man's Harry Lennox on that show, and I just like it a lot. Like James Spader's character Raymond Reddington. He's his moniker on that show was the concierge of crime, and he's just a really fascinating character, like very complex, and it's like no matter what, like even when it doesn't seem like it, he's always like in charge of what's going on. Like in the first episode, because he's like this major fucking criminal, they have him like in a prison. It's like this giant like box in this room, and he's handcuffed to the chair, but you're watching him and like it's like it doesn't even faze him, like he's just chilling. And then Megan Boone's character, Elizabeth comes in because he's saying like I'm only gonna correspond, and went to release him from the prison. The around him slides back. It wasn't even like they walked him out, so it kind of just it felt like them visually saying like he is like the center of like everything kind of moves and like orbits around him and everything. And I just like I really like how they handle his character because it's just he's just such a badass, man. Like if I had to like sum it all up into one word, he's a fucking badass character. He's just cool, really mysterious. I'm watching this show and I'm kind of like I haven't seen James Spader in a lot of stuff, but I remember he played Ultron in Age of Ultron, so I'm like I gotta watch that movie again because now it's like now like okay, this is why they got him to play Ultron.
He's also Robert California,
and I like it.
I
like it. So yeah.
He's also Robert
In
California.
The Office, yeah.
Put a real weirdo in The Office.
Not like the way that he played a California in The Office. In my head, kind of watch the show. I'm like this has to be the same guy. Like this has to be the same fucking character. He was just so on some like undercover shit in The Office.
It's such a weird character.
He's a fucking weirdo on that show, but it's like
so weird.
He's so funny.
It's so funny.
But yeah, like imagine Robert California from The Office, but as a career criminal.
Yeah,
and like that's him in Blacklist.
That's a good pitch. When he was that line in The Office, he goes, "You know who the fuck I am? I'm the goddamn Lizard King."
Yeah. Like you don't even know my real name. I'm the Lizard King, and I was like,
it's like, what? It's so random. Oh man, but Blacklist. I heard good things about that show, so I'm add to my watch list. I've heard good things about it.
No, I just finished episode 5. Like it's really fucking good, man. It's nonstop twists, but it has not gotten old. And it's like everything you think you know about like whichever you don't know shit.
Okay.
Kind of fun too. It's
I like that.
A continuously unraveling mystery.
I like that. Okay. All right, Moses. What is your 1-and-1s of this week, my man?
I mean, this is kind of a cheat, but Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning. I really enjoy that movie, and I think everybody else should go and watch it as well and enjoy it. But you won't enjoy it more than me because that's impossible. But I think you should go watch
nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done.
No, I was kidding. I think you should definitely go and check it out because I think it's a great movie overall. It's basically everything that Tom Cruise in general wanted for this film and wanted for the ending for this franchise and everything, and he did a really, really good job overall. So, and I'm gonna go watch it again, like I said, on IMAX this weekend, and yeah, and the other one, my TV show, I just finished Andor. I thought that was really, really cool. That was the first show, Star Wars show. I did watch The Mandalorian, but I only got like season 2. I finished season 2. I didn't exactly watch season 3. But it's a good show, Andor. It's a really, really good show because it kind of like takes you from season 1, season 2, and it kind of puts you right at the start of Rogue One, which is really, really dope. And yeah, the whole cast and the whole cast is great too as well. The whole cast is great. It literally keeps you off your feet the whole entire show. And I'm forgetting his character. I don't know why I'm forgetting his character's name already in my mind.
Cassian Andor, right?
His,
the actor's name or character's name?
Andor. What the hell?
What's
No. The actor's name.
Diego Luna.
The actor's name.
Diego Luna.
Yeah, Diego. I was like, wait, his name's not Andor. He's not Andor.
I was like, his name is Andor too? Damn.
I heard character's name. I'm like, you mean Andor?
I was like, his actor's name? His name is Andor?
I was like, wow. Wow, okay, wow.
Oh, wow. But Diego, he does a great job in his show. And, but But one thing I don't like though, like the I think he's the executive producer and also the creator or whatever. I'm not sure, but like he's talking a little bit too much, sass about like Marvel and everything.
Oh, Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, he's talking too much like things he doesn't exactly really know. Like he's talking about how like reason why to Marvel it's like falling out now and everything, and I'm just like, what are you saying?
What are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about, bro?
Like, get the fuck out of here, man! You don't know what you're saying, bro.
Like he's talking all this, like he's saying all these rude things to a Marvel franchise. And he doesn't know like so part of the Disney world too as well or whatever. And I'm just like, maybe because I just love the Marvel universe a lot, and I didn't like the way he was talking down to Marvel and everything, and I was like, man, he's talking all this shit to Marvel. You know what? I'm not even gonna watch this show no more. I'm not even gonna finish this show.
He's a good writer.
Says that after he already finished both seasons.
He's a good writer though. Tony Gilroy's a good writer.
It was a good show.
He's a good writer.
Good writer. It's good. Yeah. I mean, he's good. I just didn't like all that stuff that he was talking about, Marvel and everything, and
it's your opinion, of course.
And I think he was also talking shit about like the Little Mermaid too as well. And I'm like, bro, why are you starting all this beef, with the people?
You're talking shit about all of these fucking Disney projects, and you're part of Disney.
Check, my man. They write you your check, homie. They write you your check.
I already got paid for season 2 Andor. I
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
You know what's crazy, though? You know what's crazy, bro? The series cost $650 million.
I saw that. That's absurd for a Star Wars show. I'm sorry.
What? That's absurd.
That's
absurd.
Why did Indiana?
I love this show a lot, but
yeah. Why did Indiana Jones cost $400 million? That to me, it still boggles my mind. That's absurd, bro.
No, it is. It's absurd,
because
it
didn't show.
It's like what this. I mean, it did show with the VFX for Andor. You know what I mean? But for the VFX, for the CGI and everything like that, it did show. Look, it's a really pretty show.
Season 2 cost a little over $290 million.
650. That's more than.
Wow.
That's more than. I mean, I was going to say Avengers Endgame. That's literally Avengers Endgame numbers. 290. That's like what? It's crazy.
Jeez.
That's like. Right. I mean, damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But still, but still, getting close to 300 for a TV show.
For a TV show.
I don't know.
I'm glad for a prequel TV show too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But hey, man, I'm not the one writing the check, so
not yet.
It was a good show. I enjoyed it. What?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. I said not yet. See? Come on now.
I'll be writing my own check.
Attaboy.
But yeah, man. In time. I cannot wait for that day. I'll write my check and I'll write both of you guys' checks. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
My man.
To write some episodes and everything. TV show or movie. So y'all be in that writer's room. Don't worry.
Oh, you already know. Shit.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my one-on-ones.
Sweet. Alrighty, for mine, I'm gonna do my favorite Spike Lee movie, which I think is also a good summer movie, which is Do the Right Thing. I think Do the Right Thing kind of solidifies like it's a hot summer movie. Think about it. Do the Right Thing kind of has that. It's New York. It's it's like trying to get some food, trying to stay out of trouble. Spike really kind of captures what summer in New York is very well. Summer in the city does very well with like kind of the heat. Try to stay cool, food. Kind of just a lot going on, and I think. I think it's his best film personally. It's also my favorite movie of his. But I mean, everyone from Spike to John Turturro to Giancarlo Esposito, who when I first saw it, I was like, "That's Gus from Breaking Bad." Ain't no way. I said, "Absolutely not." And to me, it's a movie that I feel like, and it's like it felt real. What's the guy's name? He was in. He plays radio. He plays radio. Not radio. it was actor's name. He was in Spider-Man.
Radio. Oh,
What's his name?
I know what you're talking about. You know what's crazy? I just realized. I just
Really?
realized that was the guy from. That was the guy literally from. Do the right thing. I was watching. I think I might have saw like a
Bill Nunn.
On Spider-Man.
Radio Raheem. Radio Raheem.
Yeah.
Bill Nunn.
Yeah.
Radio
Bill
Raheem.
Nunn.
Yeah.
Bill Nunn, who's a great. I mean, as a kid, I remember he was part of the Daily Bugle in Spider-Man. He was Robbie. So I was like, oh yeah, there's Robbie from Spider-Man. Yep. Good actor too.
Robbie Robertson.
He was a good actor.
Very good actor. Yeah.
But to me, it's. I mean, everyone in Do the Right Thing is like, again, it's Spike at his kind of like what he does best. It's social commentary. It's funny. It's a great soundtrack. The opening with Public Enemy, Fight the Power is so good. It's a great soundtrack. Rosie Perez is really good in it. But like again, it's really one of like the perfect summer movies because you can watch it in the summertime. You kind of feel like, oh yeah, like again, trying to get pizza, trying to get food, trying to stay cool, trying to like stay out of trouble basically. And again, it has I think even its message too is still very important. Years later, and I think this is with Spike, really top of his game, and the cinematography, the costume design, from his Brooklyn jersey, from his Jack Robinson jersey to the Celtics jersey to Reggie Raheem's. Again, even Juan Carlo, who plays Bugging Out, like he's so like, it's like you always think it's Juan Carlo who's now this like iconic villain in so many shows and movies now, and he's kind of playing this quirky kind of this fast talking guy in the neighborhood. And again, it's great. I think it's really my favorite movie of his. I can watch it all the time. And again, it just like it solidifies like what summer movies should be, taking place in summertime, or even the scene where like, hey man, she's on my Jordans. And they all go, ah! It's like, I think he recreated that about a year or two ago. And he didn't miss a beat. So it's also probably one of my, besides Spider-Man, one of my favorite movies that takes place in New York too. It's just like it solidifies what New York is as a character too. And I think what Spike does really well in a lot of his movies too is that he uses location as characters in his movies. So yeah, I'm gonna do The Right Thing is one of my favorite Spike Lee movie, also one of my favorite summer movies. Definitely worth checking out. You haven't seen that already. And I'm looking forward to seeing Highest to Lowest this summer with Denzel, A$AP Rocky, and even Ice Spice, apparently. She's going to be in that, too.
Yeah. Forget about that. Yeah. It's in that. I saw the trailer, and I was like, is she in the movie? Or did she get, cut out or something?
I guess I'll see it now.
She's a selling point. A24, nah. Ice Spice, yeah. Do the Right Thing to me is very iconic. I remember watching this in film school and film class in high school, and I was just mesmerized by this movie. Again, I think this is what Spike does best. It's kind of like pays love to New York and to like the culture and everything. So check out Do the Right Thing. And for my TV show, this is gonna be tough because would this count as cheating, Nick? If we did the studio, would this count? You think?
Is it cheap? No, fuck it. I say go for it.
Okay, because we love that show. We went to the premiere of this the first two episodes when we were in South by, and it brought down the house. I mean, we saw it at opening the opening night shows projects, and we saw Seth Rogen, Adam and Evan Goldberg do their intro was really funny, and me and Nick watching it last week at the apartment last week, and we were just cracking up. To me, it's Curb Your Enthusiasm meets Entourage meets Birdman, and it's so funny. I mean the funny cameos from Anthony Mackie to Ron Howard to Scorsese to Zac Efron. I mean, you name it. Zoe Kravitz really funny in this too. It's like, it is one of the funniest shows I've seen on TV in a long time. And again, I think for us, who love this industry, we were trying to pursue a job in this industry. Like all the inside baseball stuff that we just kind of eat it up, and it's so funny. From even like Barinholtz, Catherine Hahn, I think her name is Chase Sue Wonders, who's really funny in this as well. It just works. It's so funny, and they really use kind of like real filmmakers like Parker Finn, who did Smile, Olivia Wilde, who's an actress and director too. And again, the whole Scorsese thing was so funny. When we saw that at South by, I mean, it brought down the house. Like it was so funny. And if you, it's on, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was gonna say, I think the Scorsese one and the Olivia Wild one are my favorite of the two of my favorite episodes so
Yeah.
far. Like those ones really stand out.
What does he go? He goes, I'm single-handedly keeping film alive.
Oh yeah. No, honestly, yeah, that was a really good one, man. Because I liked how like I don't want to spoil it for those of you that haven't seen the episode yet, but there's like they go in for a specific type of genre for that particular episode, which I thought was really fun. I just because I yeah, I just like how they did it. It's a really fun show, and it's really like creative. I think how they kind of do everything, and even you at the same time you still feel for the characters. Like Baron Holtz, he was going through in one of his episodes, and it
Oh
was kind of
yeah.
like wow, like he's okay. You're not like so you're not funny guy. You're not just the comic relief on this show. Like there actually is like a deeper reasoning as like why you're kind of handling some of the things the way that you're handling them. So, but it's got heart, but it's really fucking funny.
It's so to Nick's point exactly. It has heart, and to Nick's at South by is that it has a really cool '70s vibe, as you pointed out when we were at the premiere. Like really cool like '70s aesthetic and the vibe to it. And again, it blends a lot of like really kind of just funny moments, but kind of a lot of love for the filmmaking industry into Hollywood. Definitely worth checking out. It's on Apple TV. One of the big funniest lines that got the whole crowd laughing when we saw it at South by was episode 2, where it was all a oneer, and the whole thing about a bookend. And there's
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara, who's so good in this, and she goes to Ike Barinholtz, who's the VP of production too. He goes, she goes, if you don't get Matt out of here, I'm gonna send TMZ the video of you rapping at my birthday. And you saying the N word. He goes, all right,
Yeah.
he runs out. He runs out. He runs out. He goes,
Yeah,
Matt,
that episode.
we gotta go. It's so funny. It's really a funny show, and again, it's like I think 10 episodes, and it goes by really quick. And I think this is probably Seth Rogen's best thing he's done in a while as an actor, also as a director, a writer too. So it's cool to see Apple TV kind of give him free reins to do that. And again, it's also they make fun of a lot of things in the industry, like certain people are kind of playing certain people or actual people in the movie, sorry, in real life in the show. So definitely check out the studio on Apple TV. Probably one of the funniest shows you'll see in a while. So definitely check those out, guys. Alrighty. Moses, my friend, where can our lovely audience and viewers find you at home?
You can find me first at on IG at Moses Lawi _, and you can find me at my website, directed by Moses Lawi. You can find me on some articles, and of course, don't you ever miss me here at the John River Light podcast. Thank you so much.
All right, Nick. Nick's just laughing.
No, because when I said, I was like, what did I say? Anyways, go ahead.
No, it's gonna be tough to follow that one up, but no, you can find me right here as always at the Genre of Your Life podcast at Midway Avenue Productions. You can find me on Instagram at Ahmad Johnson 98. And of course, if you can zoom in, Doug and Post, I'm gonna zoom in here right here.
Hold it.
This is also where you can find me.
There you go. One more time.
Yeah. For those of you that right here, this is where you can find me right here. In your hearts.
I put you on speaker mode, so that it zoomed right into you automatically.
Gotcha.
You can find me on the submarine of Mission Impossible 8 next week. I'm just kidding. I'll never go down there. I'll never go down there. You can find me here at this very awesome podcast with these very awesome dudes every week here at the Genre Life Podcast, and of course Midway Avenue Productions. You can find my personal page on Instagram at The Young Jones. You can find me on Twitter or X at Capri Sun, Capri __ Sun SON. You can find our show socials at YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all one word at Midway Avenue Productions. We don't hear from you guys. Again, please feedback. Leave some comments, reviews, you name it. Again, you're good, positive, negative, neutral. We want to hear from you guys. We really do. And again, we have a lot of cool coverage from our screening at Ballerina. Look at our YouTube right now and our Instagram. A lot of fun with our friend Nino and Seth. So yeah, we have a lot more of those coming on the pipeline for you all this summer. Look out for that. And of course, guys, please, it is summertime. You stay cool. Go to the movies. Get a big tub of popcorn. Get an icy. Get some soda, man. Go on a really cool, see a movie,
Yes.
some people, some strangers, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Be regal limited person like me and Moses, man, or AMC A-list or whatever. Like, come on now, sponsorship. But nah, guys, we are now at the starting line of of the summer movie season, and again, there's so much things to check out. Sinners is still playing, Accountant 2 is still playing, Friendship is still playing. Like, man, there's a plethora of stuff to watch out right now. So go to the movies. Support your local cinema. Stay cool, of course. And as always, our friends, we will see you guys at the movies.